Hey, greetings everyone and welcome to MOSHBITS. If you're new around here, then you should know that MOSHBITS is my ongoing series of episodes where I happen to talk a lot about the latest news in tech and gaming. I've got a playlist of over 15 episodes already, so if you happen to like what I do around here, then please do consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends because I've got a lot more content planned for you all. In yesterday's MOSHBITS episode, we learned that AMD's Big Navi cards might draw a lot of power, something which you can learn more about from this video showing on screen right now. And today Igor from Igor's lab is back with some spicy information saying that a very special board partner has a Radeon RX 6000 series card which can hit 2.57 GHz boost clocks. 2.57 gigahertz. That's insane, you guys. With regards to the more stable boost clocks, we're expected to see 2.3 to 2.4 gigahertz during game sessions, and the maximum would be around 2.8 gigahertz, but obviously that will have to be done with liquid nitrogen. And with that in mind, I hope we're gonna get some more RIPGamersNexus and RIPJayz 2 cents videos because those are amazing. Now, in the screenshots, we also had a look at the maximum fan speed, and that is about 3300 RPM, and I can only imagine how this might sound like a jet engine if that comes to be. Now, let's hope that this won't actually be the case in any strenuous gaming situations because I would personally hate it. In other AMD news, we learned more about the 6900 XT in the sense that it will feature 80 compute units and 5120 stream processors, which are somewhat similar to NVIDIA's CUDA cores. Now, in terms of memory, we might see 16 GB of GDDR6 on a 256-bit bus, 2040 MHz core clocks, and a boost clock of around 2.33 GHz. However, it's important to note that AMD's 6900 XT cards will be an AMD exclusive, much like the Radeon 7 was, so it remains to be seen how many of these cards will actually gonna be able to see out in the wild. Oh, and the memory is also GDDR6 and not GDDR6X like on NVIDIA's RTX 3080 and 3090 cards, so yeah. What's going on, AMD? But alas, I'm curious what special sauce AMD might actually be bringing to this card because the information about it has been quite scarce, I would say, and I doubt that this will actually overtake the gargantuan 3090, but maybe we could see a proper 3080 competitor from Team Red at least. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, with the exception of the top-of-the-line card, AMD's add-in board partners, so let's say Asus or Sapphire, will actually get access to the rest of the cards. And hopefully, customers will be able to do that too, unlike it has happened with NVIDIA's 30 series fiasco, something which you can learn more about in my previous MOSHBITS episodes. Nevertheless, AMD has sent out a message to all of its partners selling AMD cards about the measures they need to take in order to ensure that the sale of their GPUs will actually run smoothly, and by smoothly I of course mean that the sale of those cards will stop bots and scalpers and mitigate any possible issues such as site crashes or missing items in the cart, much like I said, it has happened with NVIDIA's launch. Now, if the partners will actually do it, we don't know, and with that in mind, fingers crossed that those cards will actually get in the hands of consumers, and you know guys, maybe we'll see Frank Azor take the 10 bucks from a guy on Twitter. Now that would make for some funny content. Now, let's switch gears and talk about something else, and you know what I haven't actually talked about for quite a while now? Cyberpunk. Now that I pre-ordered the game, I'm trying to get as much information as possible about it, and lo and behold, yesterday night I saw this interesting post from CDPR and JALI Research on Twitter where they've demonstrated their AI lip sync technology. I'll try not to give out any major spoilers from the video, but all I can say is that their tech looks incredible and it has made everything much easier for developers and animators because they didn't have to put much effort, if any at all, on creating the lip sync for 10 different languages. That's 10 different languages, you guys. That's a lot. You can learn more about linguistics and other scientific terms that define the way we speak and the way we act, which is far more interesting than you could possibly think, especially across 10 different languages. I'm personally impressed by how much attention to detail CDPR is putting into Cyberpunk, and BT Dubs, the JALI Research team, will actually be bringing this as a plugin to Unreal Engine next, being already available for Maya users. So if you're interested, then you should go and get it. As per usual, the video will be linked in the video description, and for those of you who have actually watched the clip, what do you think of it? You think it's cool or not really? And with that out of the way, I think now it's time for the nibbles. And if you are looking for a new SSD, then you might want to get yourself one that has a PHISON E18 controller, because the latest Crystal Disk Mark benchmarks show an SSD with speeds of nearly 7.4 gigabytes per second, which is by all means insanely fast. I'm personally super excited for those new SSDs coming out, because maybe, just maybe, it will make slower SSDs cheaper and incentivize game developers to start using those faster speeds to improve their games. And speaking of improving your games, one tool to do that would be NVIDIA's DLSS technology. And since we're on that topic, NVIDIA has just announced a dozen more games with RTX and DLSS support, one of which being Enlisted. Now, a short demo of the game featuring DLSS has been posted online, and you can see it in the video description. And as you would expect, with a bit of luck, we'll see a bunch more games with DLSS support, giving us an extra bit of performance and some better looks as well. And you know what else will look super nice as well? Halo at 120 frames per second, my friends, on the upcoming Series S and X consoles from Microsoft. God, I still hate those names. Now, the team has just confirmed that the upgrade for Halo, the Master Chief Collection, will feature 120 FPS support for both the campaign and multiplayer game modes, which is awesome. So, dear console players, welcome to the PC world. Last up for today, MICRON has entered mass production for its first multi-chip package with LPDDR5 DRAM. Now, UMCP5 will actually combine high performance, high density and low power memory and storage into a super small package, and will give actually mobile devices, say smartphones, a boost in performance. Now, any phones equipped with this will also get a UFS 3.1 controller, but most importantly, this should also enable other things to become available to mid-range phones, such as high-resolution displays, AR technologies, and multi-camera support. And okay, also 5G, but who cares about that right now? Now, the configurations for it should be 128 plus 8 or 12 gigabytes, and of course 256 plus 8 or 12 gigabytes, which means we'll probably get a lot more phones with 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM in the future, and that, my friends, is awesome. And who knows, maybe next year the base storage for all iPhones will finally be 128 gigs. Now, wouldn't that be nice, Apple? And given that Micron is also not the first company to start mass production for those, it's worth mentioning that Samsung is also working on mass producing 16GB LPDDR5 memory, and we're expecting to see those become available really soon on phones as well. I'll make sure to leave a link in the video description if you'd like to read more about the advantages of LPDDR5. And with that being said, this brings us to the end of our MOSHBITS episode, so do make sure to check me out on Twitter and check out crowd.com, our tech and gadgets review platform, where we'll for sure also talk about those new things as well. In the video description, you also find links and articles quoted in here, so do make sure to check them out if you're interested. Now, this has been Alex with the Red Elk, signing off. Bye.